Brian Powell, I Run Far here with Shona Stephenson before the 2014 Ultra-Trail Mount Fuji. How are you, Shona?
I'm good. I'm really good.
This is not your first time to Japan. You were a second place woman last year.
Yeah, I really like Japan. The terrain suits me. It's either really crazy steep and gnarly descents or just like nice, clean, flat running. So it just seems to work for me. I like it really technical and maybe a little bit softer underfoot than in France. So it really works for me. So I like it here. And potentially the difference between here and Europe is the altitude isn't as great. So from Australia, it's not so bad for me. And I'm also asthmatic, so it's always nicer for me to be a bit closer to the ground.
Yeah, there is really no high point. It goes to it's below 2,000 meters.
Yeah, I think maybe 1,800 meters max. So
and you're not up that high for that long.
No, and we get on down, so it's not too bad. We don't really feel sick for that long unless we pushed it too hard.
Yeah. So you feel like you have strength both with really steep, gnarly terrain and on the roads?
Yeah, look, I've just moved from Sydney to Brisbane, and in Sydney I was a personal trainer, so I was just running around on roads all the time with people, and then I would go to the Blue Mountains and train, which was just like really crazy and steep in and out of the Blue Mountains, but it's really a canyon. Yeah. And so now I've moved up to Brisbane and I found some really cool steep climbs where I could get 700 meters in only like a few Ks, so which is big for Australia. So I've got the topo maps out and just really tried to tailor my my climbing and descending for this kind of terrain. I know what I was in for, so I knew where to train in my hometown.
So you're one of the few runners who, top contenders on the women's side who've run this before. What is this course like in its entirety? It's backwards, reversed this year.
Yeah, so I didn't run it this way last year, so that in itself is really cool to me. It's a totally new course, so I'm really excited about that. The first part of it will be long climbs, mainly either on like what we call a fire trail gravel road. So the climbs are, not so steep. I find the climbs up in the first section of the course, and then however you're going to have this gnarly descent where you will have to, I'm pretty sure there's chains and on down like rocks, so that is going to be extremely challenging, and you just want to look after yourself. I think that's at about 30 odd kilometers. There's that crazy descent.
So still when there's going to be a lot of people around.
Yeah, potentially. So I guess in the end you want to make sure if you're a front runner that you've got clean air and you're not going to be held up by anyone. And I'm usually pretty good on the technical stuff, and quite often I hate standing behind a bloke going, oh, can you just let me go in front of you? I can do this. But hopefully I'll have enough clean air in front of me that they won't hold me back. The difference between this year and last year is the ascent to Mount Fuji. We ran down it, and this year we run up it. However, it's volcanic soil, so it's going to be definitely soft. And for me, I'll be working on a high cadence all the way up there. I'm from Sydney initially, so lots of sand running. So I know how to run on a surface that is just falling away from you.
It definitely is.
It's different. Running on something like that is different from running in snow. Your shoes will get heavy and fill up with whatever is there. So I'm sure you guys have dirt and stuff to running, but you really can have the danger of your shoes filling up, so I'll be wearing gaiters.
You will be wearing gaiters. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want any stuff to come in. I don't want to have to carry it up a hill. I've probably got enough weight on me to carry up a hill.
So last year you were leading for a good portion of the race?
Only for about maybe 20 Ks, and then Chrissy Moel got me, and then I think I jumped ahead of her, and then I had some really bad just stomach issues for about 50 kilometers, so I really suffered. I think for about 50 Ks I didn't actually eat. I just felt awful. So I'm hoping that this year I won't have that problem. So I've got like weird what do you call them, intolerances. So if I don't have my diet exactly right, then
do you work on that some more?
Yeah, well, I'm gluten-free, dairy-free, bloody vegetarian, so it's like, so when I come
there's lots of rice on the course, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I've already written to UTMF race organisers, and they've told me what I can eat at the stations. So I know I can eat the soba noodles, I can eat the rice balls, there's heaps of stuff for me to eat, and I'm allergic to peanuts too, so I just got to make sure that any of the bars that I pick up don't have peanuts in it, but I can eat things with peanuts, been around it or whatever. I'm not too bad. So it's just because I'm asthmatic and things set me off, and then if I eat something that I react I then get asthma, and you don't want asthma when you're supposed to be racing.
Probably not.
No.
So last year you came down to you had a battle with Chrissy for a while, and then you were in second place pretty solidly.
Yeah,
and
easy
then
as.
and then
And then Hitomi popped up. It was actually, she was exactly what I needed right then and there. I knew that I'm a real racer. I love racing, and I knew that all the girls would. It's a tough course. We can't underestimate how tough it is. It's. I heard people saying that who would run the UTMB that it's tougher and harder than UTMB. So people were just hurting and they were dropping out behind me, and I was kind of a bit like, I need a race here, and then lovely Hitomi. I think without Hitomi there, I would have been coming in with a head torch on.
Yeah.
So,
and what time? About how far into the race did she catch you?
130 k's, and then I think I ran. So she got me at the final checkpoint, and then the last 18 k's, I gained 20 minutes on her. I just skedoodled. I think I ran it as fast as Brendan Davies did. I may have. But you have to check it. I never go back and check stuff, but check it. My last leg was actually really quick. So if my brain is right, I can pull it out if necessary.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I had my lovely Descent sponsor standing there, and I was like, fuck, I've got to run this. So if my wheel is there, I can run.
Gotcha. Well, tell us, this is the first time we've interviewed on camera.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your running background.
Okay, so I guess I was always on the athletics team at school, netball player, so a little bit like basketball player, but like the centre. So all day long I was a rep netball player. I'd maybe play 13 games in a day, half games in a day, so 8 hours of running around up and down. And I'd do that back to back Saturday and Sunday. And I was also an elite gymnast as a kid too, where I was doing 20 hours of gymnastics a week. So my body is used to like a big training load, and I guess the reason why I love the technical trail is it's the agility that I really enjoy, and the downhill descending. So that's usually my strength. The climbing is never going to, I'm never going to be known to be the best climber, but I really enjoy the descending the most. And I think that's why Japan is fun for me. But when I actually got back into running, in my 20s, I couldn't run more than half an hour. And then I had 2 babies, and after having my second child, I decided to shave all my hair off to raise money for cancer, and in doing so, I then got an email from someone saying, "Oh, I'm going to do the half marathon." I went, "Oh, I'll do that. It's a great way to lose some weight while I have a shaved head," because I knew if you're going to shave your hair off, you want to feel good about yourself. Yeah. So with about 6 weeks of training, I did my first half marathon, and I ran about 1 hour 46, I think it was, and it killed me. Really hurt. Because my baby was only about a year old, so my hips, my knees, everything was just killing me. I just wasn't at all strong. And then I went, oh, how can I make myself stronger? And about 3 weeks later, I ran my first trail run. And it took me about 2 years to go back to that trail run.
Really?
Because it was just so painful. And but 3 years after that, I won that trail event, so that was really cool. And then
what keeps you coming out to the trails?
Yeah, well, I just love little adventures. I think that's it. I like planning adventures. I like going out with like a map in my hand and just discovering a new trail. That's what really keeps me motivated. I hate running the same trail twice. So anything where it's doing something new, then I'm onto it. Unless it's just me and my dog doing like my thing that I like to do in my local backyard, in my local neighborhood. But I really love, setting a course and going for it.
Well, you have run Fuji before, but this is a new direction.
It is a new direction.
Best of luck out there this weekend.
Thank you, Byron. Cheers.